It seems like a little birdie told you that things will be all right. Why? Because we're road warriors. We've got Arrighetti on the mound, and we've got Ben the Gambit Gamel showing up big. Whitcomb, what a great win. Let's talk about it on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Dockstros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Go and check out Michael Connor on the Locked On Astros podcast as well. And go and check us all on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Just go and search the free channels app and you can find us. So guys, today's episode is brought to you by SupplyHouse. It's the most reliable way to get your parts, shop for your next plumbing, h-vac or electrical job, and get fast shipping from coast to coast at supplyhouse.com. And the Astros are winning from coast to coast on the road. This team just feels like, despite what happened in the last couple games versus Boston, they seem like they're dominating the Orioles, and that's a team that you want to play good against because you might be facing them. And we hear radio hosts in New York saying they don't want anything to do with the Houston Astros in the playoffs.
That's right. Nobody does. I mean, you've got to be smart. Look, guys, you can find me at h-vac on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Astros411 on X and on Facebook. You can also find me at Back to the Bullpen on X, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, and on Instagram. Look, I'm always positive, always Stros. I'm positive that Scott Service was not my favorite player manager, but unfortunately, he got canned today. Let's just start out with that. He found out through the news feed, not from his GM or president of the team, but through the news feed. And wow, to add insult to injury. I think his days have been numbered since he put Robbie Ray in and gave up that home run against.
We're going back to that.
That's where I think this started, and they just couldn't climb out of the hole. But I will say this, the human aspect of this. Mike Stanton did say to me, he said, whenever a manager loses their job, the players always feel terrible because the players feel like it's their fault. Like they didn't perform, so the manager got the axe. And so that's just a harsh reality of it. But I'm here to focus on Spencer Arrighetti, Shea Whitcomb, Ben Gamel, huge. His first 2 RBIs of 2024, Eric, he didn't have a single RBI in New York. Well, I'm just saying, look, he bust on the scene in 2017. He was a prospect that people said, well, hey, this is a guy that's probably going to do something. He had a really solid rookie campaign, and he hasn't done much since then. Baseball is a very hard sport. Alex Bregman played. We'll talk about the Gremlins later. Not the movie, but the Gremlins in his elbow, which may cause some frustration because it doesn't seem like a spot is too happy that Jordan's having to play left field every game in Baltimore. He just didn't seem too thrilled about it. But great game, Eric. You got Corbin Burns on the mound. You just lost the last 2 games to Boston. You go on the road. You're like, how is this going to go? And what did I tell y'all? Everything's going to be all right. We're road warriors, baby. We are road warriors.
Scott Service actually just put out a statement, and I'm not going to read it, but he basically said, I've devoted my entire life to baseball, from playing Little League games, blah, 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 to tremendous people who, blah, 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 to putting Robbie Ray to face Jordan Alvarez in the playoffs. And thank you, Seattle, Scott Service. So that was in his statement right there. And so I'm glad that he included that. It was just awesome that he actually acknowledged his biggest mistake. But I know
ask forgiveness for that, man. That's wrong. Kicking the man while he's down. Golly.
But the Mariners, to his credit, he had second best record in 1-run games in Major League history. Unfortunately, the Mariners all of a sudden just had a free fall. They couldn't hit the ball. The pitching that has been lights out all season, they all of a sudden couldn't do it. The Dodgers, they took care of business and they helped the Astros. And so the Astros, even though they lost those 2 games to the Red Sox, they were still 5 games up.
Yeah.
And if you look at the odds of who wins the AL West, you have the Astros up here at like 96%. Then you have the Mariners down there at 16%. Who would have thought this? At like way back, remember when we got swept by the freaking Yankees to start the year? Look how far we've come, and we're all like, let's fire Joe Espada, who's going to be next manager next year.
There was a
And
lot.
it takes time.
There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk about a lot of premature talk about firing the manager, not giving him a chance, and people panicking. But, Larry the GM put up something, I guess about a week or 2 ago, and I thought it was really poignant, and I just want to bring it back up because it was something I'd never seen. He looked at the FIP numbers and he looked at some other metrics for the Astros and what they did under Dusty versus what they had done under Joe Espada.
Right.
And he was like, in Dusty, he goes, Dusty didn't have to deal with all the injuries. So what Joe's doing with this team is actually impressive. And I was like, that's a different way to look at it. I mean, I think still there are times when guys have rest days and you wonder about that. But like I've tried to tell people before, those rest days, they put those down on the calendar in advance. That's not like randomly they go, Jose rest. No, there are days that the guys are resting or put on the bench that they want to be playing. But at the end of the day, you're in Baltimore, Eric. You've won your 4th game in a row versus the Orioles. Yeah. And this is a team that's supposed to be one of your most formidable opponents in 2024 getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, this Astros is just a different team. They're on a different level. I think they let up a little bit, definitely in Sunday's game. The offense just didn't seem to be clicking. Yes, they out-hit the Red Sox, but they just didn't seem like they were overall in it. The Mariners they're off tonight. So, but the Astros now are 5.5 games ahead of the Mariners. The Rangers are becoming non-story right now. They're 10.5 games back. You have the A's 14.5 games back. Then you have the Angels somewhere back there at 15.5. So you have the Rangers closer to the Angels at this point than you have them to the Astros. So the Astros are getting that lead at this point. And I think that the reason why Jose Altuve rested in that game was the fact that you had Alex Bregman come back and you had the ability to do this. And I think that they thought they could probably take advantage of Criswell in that game. And so they're like, okay, hey, well, Bregman's coming back. Let's go ahead and just sit Altuve.
Right.
We got to rest these guys. And I hate to say it, the bigger the lead gets, the more they're going to rest Alvarez, the more they're going to rest Altuve. Yeah. Definitely Bregman, especially with whatever's the gremlins that are going on in his arms. And I know that they talked about it on the radio today, and Chandler Rome even mentioned it, that they're even looking at playing Alex Bregman at first base. The Astros said that they're going to do that. They're going to maybe get him even in there sometime this week or next week. And that way they can get him in his defense to not hog up the DH spot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you need his glove out there in hot corner, first base or third. Now, he's not very well versed at first recently, but that's why he was taking reps at first in warmups today there in Baltimore. And those gremlins in his elbow, go ahead and say it. There is speculation that maybe he has like bone chips or bone spurs in his elbow. And I'm still wondering if that came on any of these slides that he's taken towards foul balls, one of the ones, because it was after the Boston series. And in the Boston series, he took a real hard slide and slid into, and I can't recall. I'd have to go back and watch a video. I don't know if his elbow made contact with it, but even then, bone spurs can come from a lot of things. And it may be something that the good thing is something like that. If he's in the off season and takes surgery, it only takes a few weeks to recover. It's not like he's going to be out 6 to 8 months, or it's like a Tommy John. But this team, Eric, is the ultimate next man up.
Right.
Shea Wickham is here for a reason. Shea Wickham's contributing offensively at third base. That's great. So where you thought you were going to get Diaz more at first, now you're going to have to juggle Diaz. You have to juggle Singleton. You have to juggle Bregman.
Right. I'm not seeing like people are saying in chat that he's going to be playing first base tomorrow. I'm not seeing anywhere on Twitter or X that's been confirmed. I know they said somewhere on this road trip, but the Astros are trying to find a
point.
Yeah. So, I mean, if y'all are right, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Astros just said, hey, he's a great player. It doesn't matter where he goes. This is kind of the Jeff Bagwell treatment where he can't throw that far. So I think he can throw a little bit further than Bagwell can, but why not give it a shot? And so I think if he does play first base tomorrow, then that's good. So we'll see what happens. So we'll go and continue this conversation in a second. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Go and subscribe to us. Make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Tonal. Go to tonal.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. Now, look, I know you. You guys and gals, y'all are dedicated. When you put your mind to it, you get it done. But even the most dedicated gym aficionado does struggle with consistency. But with Tonal, they take the guesswork out of working out. Life is busy, it's stressful, and you need something to help you. Well, Tonal can help you have a worry-free workout powered by AI because it learns every rep who you are, how you work out, and it personalizes it just for you. It's like having your own personal trainer at home. And Tonal will optimize every workout with you, unlike your traditional equipment. Why would you want traditional equipment when you can get adaptive digital weight system technology that helps you advance in training? And your routine will be less than routine. It will be efficient. From professional athletes to moms of three, Tonal is where it's at. So use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your first purchase. Go to tonal.com today.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Go and subscribe to us. Make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Go and check out Michael Connor on the Locked On Astros podcast as well. And thank you for becoming an everydayer, somebody that listens to our podcast every day. I know that Ken Rosenthal did talk about this, and maybe that's when a lot of people are saying that he did address it. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and listen to that, Britt. Go ahead and talk about the game that Gamel had today.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ben Gamel just comes in. He didn't have any RBI leading into this year with the Mets, and came in today. And if you look at one of my favorite things to look at on Baseball Savant, if you're listening while you got to watch, the win probability added leaders, 29.1 for Spencer Arrighetti in the plus category. Ben Gamel second with 18.3, and Yordan Alvarez 7.2. All of those guys contributed very much. Look, man, Spencer Arrighetti, I want to get back to, well, look, what led to the Ben Gamel RBI, the first RBI, was a mistake by Corbin. Corbin threw a third time to first base. Jose Altuve had a lead. He tried to get him. Well, it was the third disengagement. You can only have two. And so Altuve got to second. And then that was Yordan Alvarez, the first RBI. And then Gamel got up earlier. He got two RBI singles. He had the only multi-hit game, Eric. He had two RBI. So had it not been for him, I mean, the game would have been 4-0 had it not been for him, but this could, because the other team got blanked. But you love seeing this guy come in. You love seeing him. He only had one strikeout. Everybody struck out at least once, except for a couple guys. Whitcomb was 1 for 4. Got that key 2-run. Was it a single or double? And this offense did just enough. But you know, I really want to, after you tell us about what Ken Rosenthal said, I want to talk about Spencer Arrighetti and his swing and miss stuff tonight.
Yes, actually, Ken Rosenthal was actually talking to Joe Espada, and he said, "Well, we hear that Alex Bregman's playing first base tomorrow. What are your plans on him playing every day?" And they said that it's kind of day by day with him. So,
Yeah.
but I think it is confirmed that he's going to be playing first base tomorrow. So, I think this is a good move for the Astros to get him in the lineup, get Alvarez, get some other people in the DH spot. But Gamel, like I said, this is another option. Maybe sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and that's what the Astros offered. Jason Hayward. I wouldn't be surprised if the Astros took a risk there. I mean, he is older. He is a guy that I know he's coming from Dodgers, but the Astros are in this situation where they don't have until Tucker comes back. They are in dire need of outfield help.
Wait, we're gonna add another bat. We just added Gamel.
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised to bring in that veteran leadership.
Eric,
and he's another left-handed bat. So let's
Eric's
just go get all the DFA players.
Eric's become the Houston version of Yankees fan. Whenever there is a free agent, Yankees fan thinks that they're all coming to New York. So I was like, hold on, dude. He's wanting to add more bats. He's like, how about Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson? But seriously, Spencer Arrighetti, dude, check this out. This dude was working at 12 whiffs, and one of our guys here watching him, I'll put his comment back up, had that 3 whiffs with the 4-seam fastball, 4 with the curveball, 2 cutter, 2 changeup, 1 sweeper. Arrighetti was working. I don't know if you saw it, but he struck out, I believe it was Gunnar Henderson, on a high strike, and the Gunnar didn't think it was a strike. And man, Arrighetti looked back and was chirping. I love Arrighetti's confidence on the mound. I love this dude comes and he is a bulldog. I mean, it reminds me of guys like Mike Hampton, Roy Oswalt, guys on the mound that had that bulldog mentality that seemed to be warriors on the mound. And I think that's what we need. And hey, we got another guy like that coming back in the middle of our bullpen here in the next couple of games. And Hector Neris coming back. Everybody's like, oh, he stinks. And I'm like, they had him in the wrong role. He's not a closer. He's going to come back. He's going to fit right in, change the scenery, right, Eric? Just what you talked about. And so this whole process of the way we get players, it's just going to piss off the league because apparently we're continuing to get an advantage on the competition. And right now, it seems like now it's just the regular season. It's not the playoffs. But it seems like we know how to handle the Baltimore Orioles. And that could be good if we end up facing them, let's say maybe the ALCS. I don't know.
Yeah, I know that there's no really set team that we're going to be facing right now. All the teams are close. Like the Astros still have a chance to leapfrog and become the number 2 team in the American League. It'll take a lot of winning, but there's a chance. So I think that the Astros just got to go out there. They got to play good baseball. And Hector Neris, I think there's nothing wrong with this. I know it hasn't been confirmed yet because he has to pass a physical.
Right.
I know that he did clear waivers, so the Astros just signed him as a free agent. Jason Hayward, I know I mentioned him, but he will probably clear waivers because he's owed $9 million this year. Nobody's going to claim that. I mean, it's a prorated part, but nobody's going to claim that part.
I know you kind of threw me a curveball. You're like Jason Hayward. I'm like Eric with inside information. Did he? The Astros sign? Let's just for the next 3 days just sign a new guy each day, right? How about that? Why not? Like we're just going to change the rules, Rob. 29-man roster. How's that? 29-man active, 43-man roster. How's that?
Don't they still go to 27 men in September? Don't they get an extra player?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think so, but
or 2 extra players. I forgot what the rules are. I missed the date. Well, I don't miss the days. I miss it. I mean, I kind of like the days where you can bring up to 40 players, but at the same time, it became like spring training where you have all these pitchers come in and everything. But it was a
Oh,
way
yeah.
to save especially for playoff teams, it was a way to save your starting staff and everything. But I believe in September you do get to bring up a extra hitter and an extra pitcher, if I remember correctly. But the Astros did what they were supposed to do, and they held the Orioles, a great hitting team, to zero runs. Arrighetti, he continues to impress. Whitcomb, like you mentioned, he is, I don't know if he's the next third baseman. I think the Astros are seeing how valuable Alex Bregman is. And so maybe they try to re-sign him. They try to up the offer, but Whitcomb, he's not the same defensive player that Bregman is. I don't think anybody the Astros can get.
But I don't know that anybody has, unless they're named like Jose Ramirez or, maybe a Manny Machado. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of other like third baseman, Matt Chapman, you're never going to replicate that kind of production defensively. Now, he's probably not going to come in and remember when we lost Correa, we were like, oh, Jeremy Pena, oh my gosh, is he? And he just stepped up. So,
well, he had some hype behind him. A lot of people are like, oh, this Jeremy Pena.
No, that's true. That's true. He did. You're right. You're right about that. But I don't think anybody expected him though to step in as well as he did, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit lower with Whitcomb, and that's nothing against Whitcomb.
I think it was kind of surprising that they're both up here, but it just shows where the Astros are, especially after Kyle Tucker. So we'll go ahead and continue this conversation in a second. And guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order when you go to liquidiv.com. Use promo code MLB. Look, I've got my pack here. I've already poured it into my drink. Tropical Punch is the flavor. Unbelievable hydration. I drank one this morning before I went to work. I drank one before my workout, and I've got one right now. It is amazing. The electrolytes, the hydration. If you sweat a lot, if you are in the game to be serious and get some serious gains, then you've got to be hydrated the most amazing way. This is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. It gives you faster hydration than your normal drinks, and it has the Live Hydra science and optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 3 times the electrolytes, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So, again, go to liquidiv.com and use the code MLB at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration using the promo code today, liquidiv.com. This episode is also brought to you by SupplyHouse. Go to SupplyHouse.com for all your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical product needs. Look, I've told you before, my dad growing up was a master electrician. Well, he still is. If he would have had this website, his business would have even been more optimized. If you are a skilled tradesman in these fields, this is an easy-to-use website packed full of helpful resources with the latest product info to help you get the job done right. You shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands. Get your order delivered right to your door fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? That's right. You get an expert and you get their support. It's the industry leading, the most friendly service you'll get. You get to talk to a real person every time, and pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts for every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. There's a little red button down there. Just go and press it. Give us a big fat thumbs up. And make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Wherever you choose to listen to your podcast, go and choose the Locked On Astros podcast. We do appreciate it. Alex Bregman is set to play first base tomorrow. This is a much watch game. I know a lot of people say first base is the easiest thing. I know Mauricio Dubon played it earlier this year, and he's like, yeah, I think I worked more out there than I do in outfield at shortstop, third base, because you have to be on the move at every play because you're always involved. So I think this is a way to keep Alex Bregman's batting in the lineup, especially with him not being able to throw really hard right now at third base. You have to wheel that throw across the diamond. So I think this is a good move for the Houston Astros. They are now 69 noise and 58 on the season. They are I don't think they're going to get to 100 wins, but they are a lot better than they were earlier. And
so if they're at 69 wins, they would have to win 31 games, right, to get to 100. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. I don't think they're winning 31 of their last 34 games. If they go on a 31-3 run, then they can just give us. We can just block off every street in Houston we need to, and just go straight down freaking Crawford Avenue and just.
It's just the regular season, Brett. Even if they do that, there's no guarantees.
I know. Oh, I know. Who was it? Was it the Guardians when they were the other team? We had like 20 something wins in a row in that season, and then they got to the playoffs and they didn't win. So yeah, look, some I do want to talk about because our relief guys. We talk about an 8th inning guy. We talk about our guys, and Shawn Dubin. He's been on the show. Shawn Dubin gets a lot of criticism because he seems to be put in some kind of tough situations where, he tends to give up runs, but he is the kind of guy, Eric, that you have to put him in situations where he can let the ball fly. Okay. This is a guy that was wanted by the Dodgers. This is a guy that was scouted by all these teams, and the Astros had to let him develop over these last 3 years. He's at his best when he gets to light up the radar, and that's what he was able to do tonight. He had a cushion, and he was letting it fly. So here is his numbers. I mean, the guy only threw he had 16 swings. 5 of those were whiffs. He threw 37 pitches, just had an excellent outing tonight and looked really good. He got his dude. He was throwing gas tonight. He got up to, I guess, 96, 97. But if you let him have more games like this offense can get a lead and you can put him in better situations. He could gain that confidence because when Dubin is out there, when you let him spread his wings, you let him fly out there, there's no telling what Dubin could do. He could be a surprise in this bullpen. He's got to be put in the right situations. And I think that was the problem with what Neris was doing in Chicago with closing and so on and so forth. But the question is, when Neris gets signed, is Ferguson the first guy out? Is Ferguson the guy, or are they going to bump someone that's at AAA like Montero? I mean, what are they going to do? And
Montero's not on a 40-man roster, so he's not.
Oh, that's right. He got signed back. Okay, that's right. Okay, he has to be added.
Yeah, okay. He's not on the 40-man roster, so they DFA'd him, so he accepted the minor league assignment, so he's not even in the plans. I'm sure there's some way they can open up a roster spot, so I don't think they're going to go ahead and dump Ferguson. Ferguson in the last couple games has been pretty impressive.
No, he's been good. I just don't know who do you think is the person that loses their spot?
I would have to take a deep dive. I think I'll have to look at the 40-man roster to really see, because you have Brian Keane. He looks like he's been doing pretty good. So there's just a lot of guys that have been contributing, and even the people that haven't been contributing, they're pretty good. So they've already pretty much trimmed most of the people. So I just don't know who else they can really cut back on. So I'm looking at the roster right now. They have Luis Contreras. He could be somebody that can be on the move.
True.
You have Nick Hernandez. He's somebody. Jansen Junk. He's somebody that the Astros did sign.
Can we just release him because of the name? I'm sorry. The name kills me.
Parker Mazinski is somebody that could be on the move as well. And Forrest Whitley is in the minors, but he is somebody that I think the Astros are going to hold on to.
Oh, dude, 14 or 15 straight innings.
Yeah,
Scoreless.
and I think he deserves a chance too. So the Astros are about to have something that they haven't had in a while, a surplus of good arms, not only in the rotation, going to a 6-man rotation, but a good quality bullpen. So the Astros are in good place.
Real quick, Kendall Graveman, I don't know if you noticed this. A friend of mine, Corbin, pointed this out to me. He's been in the dugout the last few weeks. He's been hanging with the Astros. I didn't know that. So I don't know what's up with Kendall Graveman. We haven't heard. He's been with the team. So I don't know. They haven't given an update on him. But if he comes back, I mean, Eric, I don't think pitching is our problem. Is our offense going to perform when it comes down to it? I think we have the pitching, dude. I think we have one of the best staffs. I think we have one. We actually have an oddly deep bullpen, which I didn't think I would say that a few months ago, you know?
Yeah. So if you're asking me, I would say junk will be dumped and just get a spot on 40-man roster. And they'll probably send somebody like, I hate to say it, like probably either Dubin or Keen down because they need to open up a spot on 26-man roster.
Would go down
because Martinez is up for now, but once Ort's ready, he's going to come back because he's been doing great. And just think that the Orioles just threw him away. So what Dana Brown has done this year is he's taken other people's trash and made them a treasure. And I'm not saying Ben Gamel is going to be all of a sudden a superhero for the Houston Astros, but he had instant impact in this first game.
According to my graphic, he is. He's Gambit. He's going to be in the new Marvel movie.
Yeah. So,
Keen
has been good. Keen has been good. Dubin has been all right. If you're going to ask me who goes down, it'll be Dubin, but I think Dubin is your kind of long reliever at this point, and the Astros have kept him up. So I don't really have the answer, Brett.
Well, Eric, that wasn't much help. Thanks. No, I'm joking.
I gave you all the answers.
You can't. Hey, easy. Okay, look, it's all good. I think we're all a little hyped because we beat the Orioles again, and we got to come back tomorrow night. And tomorrow night's Friday night. But you know what, guys? I'm just here to tell you, if it's another game like I think it's going to be, don't be surprised if we pop out a couple extra episodes of Locked On Astros, because we're your team every single day. I'm H-Town Wheelhouse. He's Eric the Man Huysman. And our lids are brought to you by Big City Cab Zone. I got Joe Muscat. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good one as always.
Go Astros.
There you go. Gotcha.